On May 8, 2025, a historic day unfolded for Christian followers around the world. The day when the College of Cardinals elected a new pope, the leader who would guide all the faithful worldwide. The impact of the papacy on global issues is undeniable. As night slowly descended, the last rays of daylight illuminated St. Peter's Basilica, and the atmosphere in the Vatican was filled with suspense. Thousands of people stood in anticipation, their eyes fixed on the small chimney protruding from the Sistine Chapel. Silence fell as everyone quietly awaited the important moment. Then, with a single puff of pure white smoke, a new era began. The bells rang, resounding throughout the Vatican, blending with the sound spreading through the streets of Rome. A truly momentous moment. The new pope had been chosen. Within minutes, an image appeared on the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica. A man in white, with steady hands and a calm gaze. He was Robert Francis Provost, a name that, once announced, shocked the world. The first American pope in history, a relatively unknown figure, but one deeply respected within the Church. Pope Leo XIV, whose real name is Robert Francis Provost, is a figure not only prominent in the Church, but also in modern society. Born in 1955 in Chicago, USA, he is a member of the Augustinian Order, a religious order known for its commitment to community service and social justice. Before being elected pope, he held many significant positions in the Church, including Bishop of Chiclayo in Peru, Cardinal, and Prefect of the Congregation for Bishops at the Vatican. You might be wondering, how could someone from a country considered opposed to the Church's values become the leader of all Christians? The answer is not simple, but his story sends a powerful message about religion, politics, and life. When you look at history, you'll see that popes have always held an important role, not only religiously, but also politically. Before becoming Pope Leo XIV, Robert Francis Provost did not hesitate to criticize the Trump administration's hardline policies, especially on immigration. These criticisms were not easy, especially with the leader of the White House being a figure of immense power and holding extreme views on the issue. Yet, perhaps it was his straightforwardness and courage that highlighted the Church's message. Love and welcoming the marginalized are values that cannot be changed. And at this time, with a government led by Donald Trump, big questions have been raised. Is there a confrontation between religion and politics? Will this pope stand with those facing Trump's harsh policies, particularly on immigration? As for Donald Trump, as soon as this event occurred, the 47th President of the United States immediately sent his congratulations through a post on Truth Social. Congratulations to Cardinal Robert Francis Provost, who has just been named Pope. It is such an honor that he is the first American Pope. A moment of great pride for our country. I look forward to meeting Pope Leo XIV. It will be a very meaningful moment. However, with these words, one could sense that these might be the last kind words shared between Trump and the new pope. The reason being, when you check the Pope's Twitter account, it is clear that he does not have a good relationship with those who hold extreme views like Trump. One of the most recent tweets the Pope shared was an article criticizing the Trump administration's policies on immigration. He asked, "Does your conscience not stir? How can you stay silent in the face of this suffering?" In this post, he also shared an article by Bishop Avilio, criticizing the aggressive deportation tactics of the U.S. government. But it didn't stop there. The new pope openly condemned the views of politicians like J.D. Vance, who supported harsh immigration policies. In a subsequent tweet, the pope wrote, "J.D. Vance is wrong. Jesus does not ask us to rank our love for others." This was a clear criticism aimed at conservative politicians showing his disagreement with their views. What's especially noteworthy is that Donald Trump did not follow the traditional practice of placing his hand on the Bible when taking the oath of office in early 2025, raising suspicions that the 47th president might not support Christianity. Trump is known for surprising the world with his actions, but this particular move left Vatican officials, particularly the new pope, displeased. Notably, Leo XIV is not only a religious leader, but also someone with a profound vision on social issues. He stands out for his humble, approachable leadership style and his unwavering commitment to serving marginalized communities, such as the poor and immigrants, who are often overlooked in modern society. Furthermore, the new pope is a strong advocate for urgent issues like climate change and the protection of the poor. This shows that he is not only the head of the church, but also a social leader with strong values of justice, human rights, respect for immigrants, and charity. These challenges require Leo XIV to be not only a religious leader, but also a global visionary, always putting the well-being of people first in all international and political relations. His diplomacy and wisdom in maintaining the independence of the Church in the global political environment will be key to his success during his papacy. Meanwhile, Trump's supporters continue to criticize, arguing that the new pope might be too left-leaning and does not support U.S. border protection policies. Some have tweeted, "Maybe a young person is running the pope's account, and he's never looked at it." Such comments show strong opposition from Trump's supporters to the pope's views. However, when looking at the pope's policies and tweets, it is clear that he is not just a religious leader, but also a powerful voice on social issues, particularly regarding immigration and charity. He has condemned politicians who use religion to justify policies that are contrary to the spirit of Christianity. The Pope, with teachings from the Bible, affirms that love and welcoming strangers are core values that everyone must adhere to. Donald Trump and his allies may continue to use the Bible to support their policies, but the reality is that these policies are entirely contrary to the values Jesus taught. We cannot forget that Jesus himself was once an immigrant and taught us to love the poor, welcome strangers, and treat everyone fairly. I remember once reading a quote from a close friend. "The feeling when you have to leave the place you call home to search for a better future is hard to describe in words." And you know, that quote made me reflect deeply, because I myself have experienced the feeling of being far from home, starting a new life in a foreign country. For me, the life of immigrants is a story that isn't easy. It's not just about finding a job, but also about finding respect, safety, and, most importantly, acceptance. I'll never forget the feeling when I faced unfriendly looks or words just because I was new. That's why I can understand, to some extent, the feelings of those immigrants that Pope Leo XIV is defending. He's not just the head of the Catholic Church. He's also a protector of the marginalized, those who are pushed aside in society, those who are seeking a chance to rebuild their lives. When I hear his speeches, when I see him speak up for immigrants, I feel a strong belief that, yes, in this world, there are people who will always fight for justice and love. Despite the opposition, despite the attacks on his faith and ideals, I believe that with his persistence and commitment, Pope Leo XIV will bring about a wave of change in society. You may not be a Catholic, but I think we can all empathize with those who are suffering injustice, those who just want to find a better future for themselves and their families. We, who have gone through difficult moments, who have fought for a new opportunity, must understand that all they want is respect and acceptance. And when Pope Leo XIV speaks up for them, he's not just defending religious values. He's defending a fundamental human right, the right to live in a society that doesn't discriminate. As you follow this story, I hope you can feel the strength in the new Pope's decisions. And perhaps you will also see that whether it's religion or politics, we all have choices that can create change, even in the most challenging of circumstances. Pope Leo XIV is not just a religious leader. He is a person with a profound vision on social issues. He stands out for his humble leadership style, his closeness to others, and his unwavering commitment to serving marginalized communities, such as the poor and immigrants, who are often overlooked in modern society. Moreover, the new Pope is a strong advocate for urgent matters like climate change and protecting the rights of the poor. These challenges require Pope Leo XIV to be a global visionary leader, always putting human rights at the forefront of all international and political relations. His skill and insight in maintaining the independence of the Church in the global political environment will be key to his success during his papacy. What do you think about this issue? What developments do you predict will happen next? Don't hesitate to leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and support the channel. Thank you so much for watching.